Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching Boom, the political vigilante, making Gotham great again. One of the things we talk about on this show is crypto, and one of the things we talk about is follow the money. So we've talked a little bit about it. On Monday evenings, I do a crypto lounge show where I break down what's happening that week in crypto. And obviously the thing that has dominated the last week's news cycle with crypto is the FTX collapse. For those of you who don't know, FTX was the second largest exchange. Like Coinbase, it's a place where you can buy and sell cryptocurrencies, exchange them, trade them for different ones, cash them in and out. So to buy and sell crypto, you have to use an exchange the way it is right now, because you have to use your fiat currency, US dollars as an example, put them on an exchange, then use the US dollars to buy whatever cryptocurrency you want to buy. So FTX started basically, as I understand it, gambling. So they had tens of billions of dollars in people's assets. So if any exchange, every exchange has this. So all the people that were on FTX, keeping money there, keeping some of their cryptocurrencies on. Now, this is the thing I've been saying for 2.5 years, is pull your cryptocurrency off of the exchanges. Put it onto a cold wallet. If you don't know what that is, please research it. Crypto Casey has a great tutorial. There's a bunch of tutorials on what they are. They're basically like a thumb drive that you digitally store your money on, because these exchanges, it is a little wild west, and they're susceptible to corruption, as is the case with FTX. So it's like if there was a run on the banks and you had, whatever, $5,000 in your local bank, and they said, sorry, they gambled the money away. So this has happened to a couple of exchanges. We started to see things kind of get wobbly in the spring, early summer. But I've been telling you for 2.5 years, don't keep your crypto. If you don't own the keys, you don't own it. When your crypto is on a cold wallet, you own it. There are some hot wallets that you can keep on your cell phone. But again, you have the 13-word keys. That's how you know it's your crypto. If it's on an exchange, they can just shut it down, seize it, whatever. Anyway, I have a whole crypto playlist. Please watch it. Get more knowledgeable about crypto. So the FTX thing, apparently he was taking all, basically gambling with the assets. This is what corrupt banks have always done, right? So people had tens of billions of dollars in assets on FTX. He started gambling with them. He lost them. It also was tied into this other company, Alameda. And I'm just watching, and I'm going to have on next week this crypto expert, Lily Dowse, and a couple other people. I'm reaching out to a lot of crypto people to help explain this to me and to you better. But one of the things I found out, because I watch crypto videos just about every day. One of the shows I watch, Altcoin Daily, and several others started pointing out that there's way more to this FTX than just, oh, this young kid made a mistake, he bungled it. There might be some more sinister stuff here, because look what it's doing. All the crypto markets are down. What's probably going to emerge out of this is that Bitcoin and maybe Ethereum are going to emerge. After having Max Kaiser on my show a year and a half ago, he was very much like, he's a Bitcoin maximalist. He does not mess with any altcoins. And he was like, don't leave it on exchanges. I remember even asking him, I said, what about some of these exchanges that do staking? Because I was doing that on BlockFi, where you keep some of your crypto there and then they pay you interest in it. He goes, it's not worth it, because they can be shut down, seize your assets, and the little interest you're making on it is not worth them pulling it all away. I was like, huh. So I kept it on there for a little bit. And then in the spring, when I saw some of these exchanges a couple of the exchanges went down, I was like, ugh, I pulled everything out of there. I didn't want to do any staking. And sure enough, BlockFi has gotten tangled up in this. BlockFi had a credit card, which would pay you 1.5% interest. Because I was using that, you run your expenses through that card, and it's a free way to buy Bitcoin or acquire Bitcoin. But I pulled it off of there. And now the exchanges, unless you're a day trader, which I am not, if you're just going to pull some money on an exchange to buy some, like Bitcoin, I bought some recently because it's at 16,000. It's a great price. I think Bitcoin price is going to keep going up eventually. But the altcoins, and if they've got CEOs, and FTX had its own coin, if they have a CEO, it's not decentralized. So there's more stuff coming to light. And one of the first things I noticed was this Sam Bankman-Fried crypto empire. This was in the New York Times. Mr. Bankman-Fried said in an interview that he has expanded too fast and failed to see warning signs, but he shared few details about handling of FTX customers. This is the thing that really piqued my interest. All these crypto people started to say, wait a minute, New York Times just did a softball piece. And this guy, Alex Kruger, I don't know him but he's got 100 and some thousand followers, and he's an economist. He's like a finance guy on Twitter. Disgraceful reporting by the New York Times on FTX. It portrays SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried, as a charitable entrepreneur who went under and does not mention the words fraud, criminal, substance abuse, friends and family, Bahamas, KYC racket, hack, stolen funds, or wipe servers anywhere. That's all of the things that are coming out here. He's hiding out in the Bahamas. There's talk he's been arrested, but no one's sure yet. But they're like, the Department of Justice is investigating this. The Securities and Exchange Commission is talking about this. And a lot of crypto people that I follow that are way more knowledgeable about this than I am, they're saying there's fraud and all this stuff. And the New York Times doesn't mention any of that. I find that suspect. Because we know the New York Times, boy, they're all about honest and fair reporting. So why would the New York Times be trying to paint this guy as a young kid? And one of the things he was painted as this, he was this nerdy billionaire. And he lived in an apartment with 10 roommates, and he drove a Toyota Camry. He didn't have a Lamborghini and a big, right? So again, and then he does all this scammy shit just like the normal rich guys do. And then the New York Times is not going after him. They're not uncovering this. They're not doing real journalism. So crypto online journalists are following this. And they're showing, because again, it's all on the blockchain. They're showing how the assets got moved to this other one, Alameda, and then he's putting on Twitter, everything's fine, but he was moving assets around before he puts on Twitter, everything's fine. Now he's scrubbing his Twitter account. He just did this thing where he spelled out what happens next in a bunch of different tweets. And somebody pointed out, and I think this was Altcoin Daily, that he was doing that. He was posting the same time he was pulling off so that the algorithm bots weren't noticing that he was scrubbing his Twitter account. Because now Twitter, this could be used by the Department of Justice. There's evidence. If they have, and they're going to send forensic accountants in on this, if there's showing that he moved money and knew there was problems and then put on Twitter with a timestamp, there's no problems. Well, they have all this hard evidence. So now he's trying to scrub. And then who got roped up in this? Celebrity crypto assemblers sued over FTX crash. Tom Brady, Giselle. Remember the ad, the Super Bowl ad with Larry David? Larry David, Tom Brady, Giselle Bundchen, Shaquille O'Neal, Steph Curry, and others have been named in a class action lawsuit accusing the exchange. Then there's this. FTS suggests Sam Bankman-Fried transferred assets to Bahamas government custody after bankruptcy filing. So again, this is one of the things he's scrubbing his Twitter account, right? He transferred assets to the Bahamas so he files bankruptcy, then transfers funds, which my understanding of bankruptcy, once you do that, you can't, everything stops. Once you file bankruptcy, you can't move any money around. It just stops. So he moved money after that. And the head of Binance, this Asian man, CZ, I believe, they were going to do a deal with FTX, and then they pulled out because they were like, this looks bad. And some people say, oh, that helped accelerate the collapse of FTX. But this is this is the thing that piqued the political vigilantes' interest. Okay. So I kind of understand some of this stuff. Clearly there was fraud. Clearly there was that's happening. And the investigators from FBI, I mean, like multiple agencies are going to investigate this guy. But then I saw this article, and Altcoin Daily talked about this. Sam Bankman-Fried donated like somewhere in the neighborhood of $30 billion to Democratic candidates in 20 and 22. He was talking at the World Economic Forum with Bill Clinton, Bill Gates. Now, this is just my connecting the dots, but we know if you watch this show, Clinton and Gates have strong, strong ties to Jeffrey Epstein. That's all I'm saying. I don't know if this has an Epstein thing to it or just coincidence that some of the evil people connected to Epstein are also involved in this. Could be that. Bankman-Fried could have nothing to do with that at all, but he's with people that were. So right there, they're not great people. But again, how do I know? How do we know that there is money being donated to the Democrats? Well, let's go to our old friends, Open Secrets. Okay? One of my favorite websites. They are nonprofit, nonpartisan. All that Open Secrets does, it's not a conspiracy website. The FEC, the Federal Elections Commission, any donations $2,000 and up have to be tracked. So if I write a check for $2,000 or more to some candidate, it would say Vegan Guns Super PAC, Big Kale Super PAC is donating to this or that candidate. So it's a matter of public record. This isn't conspiracy. This isn't innuendo. These are facts. So when I read these articles about Sam Bankman-Fried and giving money to the Democrats in these PACs, I wanted to back this up. I wanted to see if this is for real, because one of the articles was in the New York Post, that was Fox News. And I'm like, well, I don't know that I can trust Fox News because they would love to just crucify the Democrats. Not that I like the Democrats. They're awful and corrupt, just like the Republicans. That's the problem with Fox and MSNBC. Neither one will hold their side as accountable. So I did my own research, folks. And look at this. Well, Mr. Bankman-Fried, comma, Sam, here's your donor detail. These are the contributors. Now, these are all recipients. These are different PACs, right? Heartland Resurgence. Let's see what Heartland Resurgence is. Who's Heartland Resurgence? Right? So now this is one of these weird ones. It's hard to say. They're like for against certain candidates. It's hard to say, but let's just go back. Let's just look at this one, right? So that was not 50,000, $300,000 to the America United. And again, Viewpoint, liberal. This is a liberal PAC. Okay. $483,000 for Democrats. All right. The other one seemed kind of conservative. $4 million for Protect Our Future. Huh. This is considered a liberal. This PAC has given $23 million for Democrats, $900,000 against. This is a Democratic PAC. Then the Alabama Conservatives Fund. Interesting that he would do that. Democratic Majority for Israel, $250,000. Senate Majority PAC, $500,000. National Wildlife Federation Action. Oh, he's a charitable environmentalist. He's one of the good billionaires. That's why he drives a Camry. Okay. $1 million. America United. And then Protect Our Future PAC. $10 million. In April of this year. This is very liberal. he donated to these guys several times. $23 million. They have 24 total $1 million that they had. 10 of it came from Sam Bankman-Fried. 23 million of it they gave to Democrats. 900,000 they gave to ran against Democrats. Probably just some Democrats that were like too progressive or something. 6 million for House Majority PAC. Another liberal PAC. 145 total. Look at that. Against Republicans. They spent $136 million against Republicans, 4 million for Democrats. More for Protect Our Future. Look at this. This is unbelievable. I mean, this is 30 some million. I said 30 billion. I'm sorry, 30 million. 10, 20, 30, 34. Yeah, it's roughly $38 million. I said billion before. That was a mistake. $38 million he gave to Democrats. One guy. A lot of questions here. I think the question we have to ask ourselves is what kind of regulations are going to come out of this? A lot of people are theorizing, and I don't know if this is true or not, that the FTX thing will be used to push a U.S. digital currency. We already know China has the digital yuan, and America's been trying to work. They're behind, of course, to get everybody to start using, rather than everybody use Bitcoin. Because if America goes to I don't think America would go to Bitcoin. If everyone starts using Bitcoin, then like the Federal Reserve and the central banks that control this country and most of the world would then have no power. So they're going to try to, they know digital, this is in 10 years, we're all going to be paying with digital currency, with some type of crypto. So they want everybody to use the American digital thing. That's my guess. That's what a lot of people are theorizing. This is a complete theory, but you can't walk away. The $38 million to Democratic candidates and PACs, that's a fact. I just showed it to you. So why? Why so much to Democrats? Is he just a liberal guy that had a lot of money to spend? He's worth billions of dollars. 38 million is not a lot of money to him. I don't know. But it raises some questions, because I tell you on the show, follow the money, connect the dots, get the truth. We're going to keep, because I feel like more is going to be revealed with this FTX scam. We're going to find out more. And I want to go into who was on the board at FTX, where some of these people worked. What did they do before they got to FTX? And then the $38 million to the Democrats. Like, there's some weird questions here. And the fact that the New York Times deliberately puts this softball piece out there to try to control the narrative. We know this. This is what the ruling elites do. They try to control the narrative. Oh, he was just some nerdy billionaire, showing up at these events. He's sitting next to Bill Clinton at the World Economic Forum. Clinton's in a suit and he's in like shorts and gym shoes and a t-shirt. Oh, these eccentric billionaires. Nobody went, hey man, wear a suit and tie. This is a professional thing. There's an ex-president there. Like, dress up. Oh, he's a billionaire. He's eccentric. So I don't know if this guy was propped up. I don't know if he was used. I don't know if they all buddied up to him and said, yeah. And then I don't know if this whole thing was deliberate, the whole deliberate fraud and scamming 30 some billion dollars out of FTX assets. People have lost billions of dollars. So if you are a hardworking person, you got a decent job and you had a couple grand, whatever, on the FTX exchange, it's gone. You might not ever get it back. So that's why this class action lawsuit, they're going after the celebrities. People are going to try to get their money one way or another. So that just raises a lot of questions. It's not just like, oh, he just donated to candidates he liked. You're making a mountain out of a molehill, Graham. No, not for $38 million. It'd be one thing if he gave 10 grand or 20 grand or even 100 grand. Gave 100 grand to this candidate or that candidate, maybe. 38 million? We're going to keep talking about this, and I'm going to bring some more people on the show. I'm going to try to get Max Kaiser back on the show to really break down what this is. What really happened? Why did it happen? Who wanted it to happen? And what the fallout from this is. And is this part of some sort of longer con to keep us under the thumb of the central banks and not get into crypto? Scare regular people out from crypto? I don't know. Some people surmise that this is going to bring about more regulation, which in the long run will be a good thing, because adoption is what we need. When everybody is like, oh, it's safe to invest in crypto, that's when everybody starts putting it in there, and everybody's retirement and 401k, all this stuff starts to happen. There's already some crypto IRAs. That's a good thing. But there's just something about this FTX thing that just is starting to be like, wait a minute. It isn't just like, oh, this kid screwed up. He ran a scam and got caught, and some other people got tangled up. And it feels bigger. It feels more ominous as I look into this. So we're going to keep following this story. We're not going to let this one go. And when I see people that have flown on Epstein's plane multiple times somehow involved in this, I start asking a lot of questions. And so should you. So support what we're doing so we can keep covering this stuff. Pull your crypto off of the exchanges, put it on a cold wallet. I'm sticking with Bitcoin. The altcoins that I own, I'm going to hang on to them. If they spike in price in the slightest, I'm going to liquidate most of my altcoins probably in the next year or so when the bull market comes back. Bitcoin, I'm going to hang on for the long haul. That's my strategy. What's yours? Put it in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe, and shave your knuckles for justice. Boom. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. We are still in our 9th month of demonetization from YouTube. So support what we're doing at patreon.com/Graham Elwood or rockfin.com/Graham Elwood, which is a blockchain cryptocurrency platform. It's free to sign up, and there's a premium level at $10 a month. And for that, you get everybody on the platform's premium content. Myself, Lee Camp, Ron Placone, Jimmy Dore, Whitney Webb, Kim Iverson, Abby Martin, and many, many others. You can also support what we're doing at Venmo at Graham-Elwood, and go to GrahamElwood.com. We have a PayPal button and a PO box. I also have crypto wallets, which are all in the show notes. Thanks for supporting what we do.